So great to see everybody as usual. I hope everybody's doing well. Um, Looking forward to today. We have two guest speakers with us and a number of updates to share. We are honored to have Ken Monroe with us today, who's the Senior Vice President of Sales for Empower Retirement. Ken was with us at the conference, and Ken is not only a distinguished colleague, but a very good friend. And he is going to update the group on changes that Empower has made in response directly to input that they have received from TPA owners such as yourself. So we're excited about that. I'm also very honored to have a new discount partner that we are welcoming to the group, and that's Rhonda Sterrett from I360 Design. We are going to run through what she can do for anybody that's looking to spruce up their websites. And the discount that she is giving us is 50%. So she has now surpassed our biggest discount partner. So we're just very grateful. She does tremendous work. We'll, of course, cover your topics. I believe Cindy's with us from FT. Cindy, if it's okay, I'm going to have you kind of close us out today, if that works. Because we have a lot to cover, but we're going to just show how efficient we can be here with running an agenda. So welcome, everybody. We're going to just start out with the spring communication update. Courtney, if you could just bring up those pieces. We had a great response to the 5-piece communication series that we've developed with Kelsey and Steve. We're using your logo in all our samples. So Steve is always great, and I don't even need to ask Steve. So we've sent out mock-ups, I think, to a good number of you that are participating. And I guess the key point I want to make here is we need feedback on any changes you would like by this Friday. We're working now not just with one graphic designer. Ricky's working with one on the monthly pieces, and we now have engaged a second designer to help us with these pieces. So I think she's done a great job. But any feedback that you have, if you could get it to us by Friday, because then very quickly next week, we're going to crank out these pieces with each of your logos on it. So Courtney, we're just going to show you what the pieces are. This is the converting. This is the simple to the safe harbor. Just bring up the next piece, Court. We'll just show real quickly. And if any of you have signed up and we didn't email you this, just email us and we'll get it out to you. But there's 5 pieces in total. Most of the group selected all 5. We had a couple that selected just 3. We have 3 how-to pieces from Secure Act 2.0. This is the automatic enrollment piece. They all come with a checklist. Kelsey did a great job content-wise, and I think the designer did a nice job to really kind of, I think, spruce things up a little bit for us, but neutral blue. And then Courtney, just bring up the 3rd piece, and the rest folks can kind of look at on their own. If you haven't participated in this project, by the way, and you like this, just email us. You can participate still. This is the, and again, the titles are going to change, but this is the Safe Harbor Plan chart that Kelsey put together for us. And then there's 2 more pieces. We won't go over them here, but there's a primer on cash balance. And then there's a compensation resource guide. So 5 pieces in total. So hopefully everybody likes it. Look forward to your feedback. Please email us and let us know if you have any edits that you will catch technically by Friday, or if there's anything you don't like in the design, please also let us know that as well. Second quick announcement, the ASPA plan sponsor certification. Just a reminder that the classes start in June for your plan sponsors. So if you haven't yet started inviting people, we encourage you to invite them. And I'm telling everybody, it's up to you guys, but we have 400 seats to this class. You know, if you want to post things on LinkedIn and invite more advisors, like go to town with it, because we have a lot of seats available, and you know, we are partnering with ASPA on this, but we really want you to benefit by promoting this as something that you're doing as a TPA. So feel free to post it on social media. There's no such thing as too many signups for this. So we're excited about that. Ricky, on ASPA, any other announcements?
Yep, a couple of news with ASPA. So the qualified 401k specialist, the QKS, is now available. we should be receiving a 20% discount on that as well. That's not up and running with the discount promo code. So I'm in contact with ASPA. I'm going to get the kink out of that for you yet. As far as the ASPA annual goes, that's October 20th, I believe, to the 23rd in Orlando, Florida. They do have an early bird discount for members right now going on until August 23rd. Plus, you will be receiving from us, which we will be circulating, the discount code, $100 off the price on that as well. After August 23rd, it's just going to be the regular price. I believe the discount code will still be in effect, but that will be October 11th. And I'm working on the newsletter that's available in your constant contact for the monthly, the Advisor CPA newsletter. And we are working today and tomorrow to get the logos, the private label ones out to you all today for today and tomorrow. And that's my update.
Thanks, Ricky. Ricky,
Sure.
really appreciate you. Terrific. And then Court, just bring up our save the date for next April. We've already started planning the agenda, and we're going to be reaching out to you all on this, but just want you to save the date. Sunday, April 27th through the 29th of 2025, we are having our annual Top 100 conference in beautiful Jupiter, Florida. We have a stunning location, Wyndham Grand Jupiter, which is a phenomenal resort. We're hosting the conference. We have a trolley service that'll go a mile up the road to a gorgeous location called the Pelican Club. So we encourage you all to plan some vacation time around that. We have discounted room rates that are going to be available 2 days before or 2 days after. More details to follow, but we're already beginning to line up agenda. And again, we'll be reaching out to many of you on that. But we look forward to seeing you in person. We'll probably see you sooner than that, but certainly next April. So those are the announcements we have. And now it is my great honor to introduce Ken Monroe, who runs sales nationally for Empower. Ken has been with us before and at our conferences. And Ken, we're really honored to have you today to give us an update on what you are doing at Empower, which I know is a lot, but we're looking forward to telling our TPA owners what you're doing.
Yeah, we got a few things going on. Thank you for having me, Dawn. And I've told this audience this at least twice before, but for the third time, my initial entree into sales in my career 30 years ago was given to me by Dawn Hines when we were both working at MetLife. So look at us now, Dawn. Things it's been a good run. It's been a fantastic.
I've been friends with Ken for a long time, so it's great to have you, Ken, and thrilled with all the success you've had at Empower. You deserve it.
And last time I was with you, I covered in theory all of the TPA strategy changes we had in motion. I am very happy to say that we are live with most all of them, and I will document them for you again. But if I travel the country quite a bit, whether it's at an Empower conference or industry conferences, and if I'm on stage, I'm talking about one of two things or both, and it's advice for the masses, and it's our TPA strategy and our commitment to the TPA marketplace. So I'll walk you through how we got there, why we got there, and the changes that we made. And by certainly we'll take any questions that you all have, and there's more good stuff coming. Dawn, just for a quick time check, do you want me to do 15 minutes?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah.
All right. So if I go back a year, Empower has dominated in the core market segment. And we define core as 0 to 75 million for as long as I've been at it, for as long as Empower has been in existence, which is about 8 years at this point. Most of that production was coming in the $5 to $75 million market space. 5 years ago, we rolled out something called Empower Select. It was a $0 to $5 million target product. It was designed to be offered in conjunction with TPA services. It included our biggest and best fund partners, and it really solved our problem or solved distribution for us in that $1 to $5 million space. And by solved, last year we wrote 3,200 plans in the core market segment at Empower. 75% of them came in that 0 to 5 space, and 75% of them came with a TPA attached to it. And if you look at Empower's book of business today, we have 72,000 clients. 80% of our book of business is with the TPA. It's certainly bundled in the government and upmarket, but almost all of the core business is in conjunction with the partners on this call. So that's great. We've been on a good run. We were not in the $0 to $1 million space. We were not an attractive solution for you on a startup plan, on a $500,000 plan, and $1 million plan. That is over. We are all in on the Cerulli study that says, you know, we've created 500,000 retirement plans in the first 30 years of this industry. And here comes another 300,000 by the end of the decade. And here comes another 1 million retirement plans within the next 10 years. Empower has a strategic initiative to participate in solving the coverage gap for American savings. We will write thousands and thousands of startup plans on a go-forward basis, and we only do it in concert with our TPA partners. So that's our strategy change that we started talking about a couple of years ago and we implemented this year. I said internally for our meetings, if we are going to become a tier 1 option with a single platform in the micro market space, we have to revamp our TPA strategy. We cannot have success in that space if we do things like we've been doing them. We have to totally revamp how we're working and partnering with TPAs. So we did. On January 17th, I was standing on stage at our national sales meeting and I announced all of the following things. We went through a pricing analysis with our actuaries and we finally quantified how much more efficient a TPA plan is versus a bundled plan at Empower. Obviously, we're not doing the plan document, we're not doing the compliance work, but our CSMs, our customer service reps can handle higher caseloads if we're partnering with you on service delivery. Our client tenure is longer if we have a TPA partner as part of the relationship. So we went through an exhaustive analysis to quantify all that, and we restated our pricing models on our TPA versus our bundled business. And if you have not quoted a plan with Empower since January 17th, or if you had an existing quote with us that you quoted before that date, come ask your wholesaler for another quote because our pricing went down dramatically in the $0 to $1 million space if it's in conjunction with a TPA. I'm talking 30 or 40 basis points on small plans. I'm talking 10 or 15 basis points on a $3 million plan and everything in between. So that was step 1. Redo our pricing models to show the value that you all are bringing to the table, making us more efficient. Step 2 was our revenue sharing program. So we've been in market a while, paying 25 and 5 to our TPA partners, but we didn't price that very aggressively, and we disclosed it in a way that you didn't like, is the way I will summarize that. We fixed it. We are now pricing our 25 and 5 much more aggressively. So if you want the TPA revenue sharing program from Empower, it's not going to cost you as much as it used to. And all we are disclosing is the 5 basis point trail. You're getting 25 basis points immediately. You're getting that 5 basis point trail in year 1, but all we are disclosing on our fee schedules are a cost of 5 basis points and a disclosure of the 5 basis point trail. We are no longer disclosing the 25 basis point upfront compensation for you or what it costs. That is up to you to do as you see fit. So that is very much like Voya and very much like Hancock and very much what all of you are asking us to do. It is done. It is live, effective January 17th. 2 other things we did. Gave you a better, well, 3 other things. We wanted to be a better solution for you in the cash balance marketplace. So we've been in market with a cash balance product for a long time, but the reason we didn't sell a lot of it was our lack of flexibility on the investment side. So we are also live with an Empower cash balance product that has to have a TPA associated with it. And you can use an advisor-built custom model as the investments for the cash balance plan on our platform. I have been told by many people who do lots of cash balance plans that everybody's pivoting to self-directed brokerage to get that done. You can now run a custom model on our platform for your cash balance investment, and we will pull that cash balance participant level detail that you provide to us into our 401k experience, so participants can have a single sign-on and a single look at both of those plans at the same time. Live with that, we are good to go. The notice delivery. There was, and this is the only thing I'm going to talk about that step 1 is done and I'm still waiting on step 2. But there was a gap in our notice delivery between bundled and TPA. And the gap was the SMM and the SRAR and the SPD, because those are your notices and they're not ours and they're not on our system. So we are fixing that. Current state, you can upload those notices of yours to our plan service center so that the plan sponsor could deliver them electronically. That is live. By Q4, we will deliver those on your behalf. If we have an email, we'll send them email. If we don't have an email, we will mail them snail mail to the participant, and we will direct bill the sponsor $1.50 for every letter that we have to mail. The reason that that is a good way to do the billing is you do not need to revisit your existing Empower business from a pricing perspective. If you want to turn on notice delivery, you can turn on notice delivery and it doesn't affect price. It's an incentive for us to do email capture, which benefits all of us. And if we have to mail a letter, we're just going to direct bill the plan sponsor on notice delivery. One more thing, and I will take questions. In order to have success in the $0 to $1 million market segment, and in order to leverage the pricing model changes, we are rolling out a digital-only distributed product called Ready Select. It is going live on July 22nd. We're starting with 30 TPAs. Our goal is to have every TPA that wants it have access to this product. But what we're live with already today, and you have access today, is the Empower Digital Proposal System. If you don't want to talk to anybody and you want to go get an Empower quote, you go to empower.com and you fill out some information and you'll hear from our sales team. So we already have the front end of the digital process built. What the Ready Select product will do is it's TPA only, it's $0 to $1 million, it's our best price point, and the entire process start to finish is digital. You do not have to speak to anybody at Empower unless you want to. It's DocuSign for you and the plan sponsor. It's an automatic feed to implementation that makes us more efficient, so it prices better and it cuts our implementation timelines in half. We can do a startup plan in 45 days and a takeover plan in 60 days. But that is an end-to-end digital proposal Empower solution for the micro market, to TPA exclusive. And if you're interested in that, we should be talking about getting you in line and getting you programmed into the system. So that's a little bit of a future look on how we're going to write thousands and thousands of startup plans in the future in partnership with you all. But that was a lot.
Yeah.
We are pricing better for you. Notice delivery, plug in that gap. Awesome cash balance product. If your Empower wholesaler has not been in your office talking about all of this, I'm really disappointed in them, and you should tell me who they are so I can chastise them accordingly.
You're in trouble because Shannon Edwards shaking her head.
This is all we're talking about. So I'll take a breath and answer any questions that you have on that.
That was going to be my next question is, what if your wholesaler doesn't sell unbundled and you haven't seen him in a while? So
yes, they have no choice at this point. The product I just mentioned has to be in conjunction with the TPA. Our cash balance has to be in conjunction with the TPA. And I'm not naive enough to know that there's not some bundled focused wholesalers out there, but the goals we're giving them, especially in some of those market segments, they have to do it with you. And they have to be talking to you about this stuff.
Ken, here's the deal. If Shannon wants, this is Paul, the wholesaler to come visit her, she's got to stay in the country. She can't be on vacation 9 months out of the year and expect the wholesaler, unless the wholesaler is going to Mexico or wherever you go. So that is the rule. You got to stay in the office, Shannon.
Hey,
I'll
wait,
try,
I don't know who made that rule. I'll fly the wholesaler to me if I'm in the Bahamas.
Virtual meetings work just fine. Just let us know when and where.
Hey,
So,
Ken, is the Ready Select product only 0 to 1 million?
At rollout, yes.
Okay.
A long-term plan, no. And Ready Select's a package product. It's got 12 decision points. A lot of the plan design features have already been pre-selected. We interviewed lots of TPAs before we pre-selected them, but it's a plan in a can. It's designed to be streamlined and very few decision points, and that's why it's our best price point. At any point, you can pivot out of that and sell Empower Select and have full flexibility for a startup plan or anything else. But if you can stay within that package, there's incentives to do so.
So with it being the 45-day timing, I'm assuming there's not really an implementation process. It's digital, all virtual.
All of the plan document features you pick as part of the digital process, and it directly feeds our easy record keeping system. So all of that is done before your welcome call with the implementation team. So there still is an implementation process. That is human interaction, and we're doing weekly calls just like we do. The plan is already built on our system before we even have the first call.
Do you have to,
Awesome.
do you have to have a financial advisor tied to it?
We need an intermediary. You count. But 99% of our business also is in conjunction with a financial advisor. Yes, we won't write a plan directly without you or an advisor.
Ken, could you address some of the recent notices and stuff about our book of business and the various options that are coming up over the next couple of years that you're asking for input on those? You're the only record keeper that is that far ahead that I deal with. And it's great to see, but it's also very disconcerting that we have to do it. But
Are you talking
go
on
ahead.
your book of business, that type of thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if there's one gap we are laser focused on is the next step in our TPA relationships, it's that. And Joe Burt, for those that know him, has been our subject matter expert on the TPA side, helping us get there. But getting a standardized API delivery to get you the information that you need on your Empower book of business so that you can interact with us more efficiently, as opposed to going to our plan service center and downloading lots of reports and doing what you do today. That is priority one for us, and I expect us to have a solution live by the end of the year.
Okay, but the other one is the one where we get a list of all our plans and you're telling us you need the Roth thing because this one has, whatever it is for the catch up, they don't have a Roth account set up. There's various options across the top and you're telling us based upon our entire book, which plans may need what.
Okay, to implement secure 2.0 provisions and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd have to phone a friend on that, Steve, and get
Okay.
exactly how we're doing that and where we are in the process. I'm familiar with the concept. I haven't been personally attached to that.
It's all there. It's just taking us a little bit of time to digest it. That's all.
Okay. Good feedback.
Hey, Ken, we got some questions in the chat. I'll just read out. I'm not sure if you're looking at the chat. Brad Busol wants to know, what does Ready Select pricing look like?
10% less than Select. So that's the easy answer. And that was a educated guess on our efficiencies with that product. Once we sell 1,000 of them, I'll do exactly what we did last year, which is actually look at that product and see the actual cost analysis of how much more efficient we are with that packaged concept, and we'll restate that if we can. But the short version, it is the most attractive price that you can get at Empower in the micro market at rollout.
Jason Grants wants to know, is Ready Select limited architecture investments or full universe 35,000 plus funds?
It's very much packaged. So version 1 of Ready Select is a 20 fund lineup and Morningstar is the mandatory 338. You have no choice at the plan level. It's built for speed. And just like we plan on adding additional TPAs to the Ready Select concept, we plan on adding additional 338 options. One Digital is going to want a micro market product with them as the 338 and their specific lineup. Same for PensionMark, same for Cap Trust, same for fill in the blank. So our plan is to rinse and repeat this and expand those options. But the end state is you could have a partnership with a large aggregator advisor firm, and you've got a product that's named XYZ product, and you go to Ready Select. That's the drop down. The fund lineup's pre-populated, the 338's pre-populated, your fees are pre-populated, and you're submitting that thing via DocuSign and running. So we will have hundreds of these Ready Select versions when it's all said and done. We're starting with version 1.
Martin Smith, our office is based near Seattle. Have not heard from our rep in a long time. So he also wants to hear from someone. Shannon is in Oklahoma City. Right, Shannon?
Yes, I will be contacting my wholesaler when we get off this.
Todd Champney.
Todd and I have been personal friends for a very long time. We just don't sell much together.
I'll tell him you will be calling him.
Who's Martin's person near Seattle?
Kevin Hutton.
Kevin Hutton. Okay.
Kevin Hutton's our Seattle-based rep.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, what's Martin's? Let Martin Smith.
Martin Smith,
Yep,
near
got it.
Seattle.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
My guy's Matt Roscoe. I hear from all the time, Ken. Just put a plus next to his name. I like
That's-
Matt. We like
he's a-
Matt.
He's a good man. He's
He's a
good.
good guy.
He's killing it right now.
got another one for you, Ken. Nikki Murphy, Blue Benefits, wants to know about Indiana. Hasn't heard from anyone in years, she says.
Sean Frazier, Indiana.
Okay.
Also doing well, Mickey. Dawn, I'll send you an Empower sales map
That'd be great. That'd be
after this
great.
call, so you can just distribute to the audience as well.
Awesome. There was another one on here for Brad. There was talk of having, I know, Brad, you might have addressed this with the your comment, but there was talk of having API from our compliance software, FD Williams ASC, to onboarding and plan changes. Is that still in the works?
Yes. Anything API related is absolutely in the works. I'm hoping you're getting everything you need by the end of 2025 and most of what you need by the end of 2024.
Hey, Ken, this is Brian. This is Brian Long from F2 William. Actually, I was going to send you an email about that. Maybe we can connect offline about that to have further those conversations a little bit.
Yeah, please do reach out. And I have people on my end that are championing that project that we can loop into the conversation as needed.
Beautiful. Thank you.
That's great. I love the digital product, Ken. That's really cool. Are you guys like forerunners in that? Is there anybody else out there with that? What does that look like from a market point of view?
So I would, the competitors out there, you would be the Human Interest Investwells of the world, I would say. Two differentiators. We are truly end-to-end digital. You do not have to talk to somebody to sell Ready Select. You can, you don't have to. And I have been told that others that are presenting themselves as digital solutions, eventually you got to talk to somebody or you can't finish the sales process. So we're definitely, we're true end-to-end digital. And this is going on to our single easy platform. Like Lockheed Martin and Wells Fargo are the same platform as a 5Life startup that you're putting with Empower. So even in the Ready Select process, that is the case. Principles out there with the ubiquity relationship down market. But if you sold a 5Life startup and it was a $50 billion plan in 10 years from now, they're not going through a platform change.
And I'm sorry, I might have missed it. The 30 TPA universe you're working with now, when is that opening up?
July 22nd.
To everybody or?
No, to the 30 TPAs for Ready
To the
Select.
30. So how do we get?
Everybody on this call has access to the digital Empower proposal system right now. You can go to empower.com or you can go to your plan service center and you'll see a link there and you could quote an Empower Select plan via that digital process. The Ready Select package product, we're starting with Morningstar. We're starting with 30 TPA partners. The goal is once we get to work out the kinks for that and go through that pilot phase to add anybody and everybody who's doing volumes of business with us.
It's awesome. Sounds exciting.
My sales goal this year is 3,400 plans. My sales goal in 2028 is 8,500 plans. Like we are all in on this.
Fantastic. Well, we want these folks to be part of that.
They have to be. I won't hit it otherwise.
All right.
I'm fully aware of that.
Right. You got to have the TPA benchmark group in your test group too. Awesome.
Ken, I know we trust Empower is going to have a good product, but I think I'm on my 4th or 5th takeover from Ubiquity because they've tried to use the product. It doesn't work for them. So we switch them to a different product. It's just not a good product. I'm sure you guys will nail it coming out.
Thank you. And that is not the first time I've heard that
I
feedback.
agree with Paul on that.
Okay. Is that specific with Principal or just in general, Ubiquity Direct? Or it doesn't matter?
Principle, from my understanding.
Okay. Fantastic.
Another question. I'm sorry, Ken, when you're done, I have another question here. Martin Smith wants to know, is advisor comp fixed on Ready Select or do they get to dial in? Do we enter that when we request a proposal? He wants to know.
Dial it in, and at request of proposal, you can dial it in.
Fantastic. Wow, that was a whirlwind update.
15 minutes, Don. Come on.
I'm telling you, this is good stuff, Ken. This is good stuff.
All right. I'll send a map. If you are all welcome to reach out to
Please.
your Empower wholesaler, but I'll turn that around. You absolutely, this is their lead in the marketplace, and you should be hearing from them. But I wrote down all the names.
Thank you.
Of those, and anybody else can send me an email off of this invite.
Perfect. Great.
Thanks.
Cool. Awesome, Ken. So you're gonna send me a wholesaler map. We'll get that out to anybody else that wants attention from Ken's wholesalers. Let us know. We'll get that over to Ken. And I have a feeling Shannon's gonna be well taken care of, and so is Martin.
Yep. I guarantee it.
All right. Awesome, Ken. Well, we thank you so much. We'd love to have you back again anytime you want to come and speak again to the group. This is really good stuff, and it's going to help our TPA, so we appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Always great. Thanks, Ken. All right. So we are now going to transition to a new discount partner. I'm really happy to introduce Rhonda Sterrett, who runs I360 Group. She has been a programmer in the IT industry for 25 years. Along with her husband, she has started I360 Group, which they've had for many, many years. She's done numerous sites for me. She is wonderful to work with. She will get to know you, what your needs are. I've shown her a bunch of sites in the TPA industry. She works across industries, but she's very customer centric. She does a wonderful job. And we're pleased to welcome her onto our partnership platform. We'll talk about pricing at the end, but Rhonda, great to have you with us.
Thank you, Dawn. Probably the best thing is I view myself as almost like yes, I'm a web developer. Yes, I'm a programmer, but I almost view myself more as a consultant. I like to get to know somebody's business, to know their pain points, their strengths, what they're trying to achieve. A website, as many of you know, is just a piece of marketing. Most people say it's more, but it is. It's just a leg in the stool of marketing, and you need to make sure it's properly created for your audience. I know you guys like statistics. There's about, whether you realize it or not, there's about 6 billion searches per day on Google alone. If you look at just Google, not Yahoo or anything else. Of that, 48.5% say they're on Google to find something, not to go directly to something, but to find something they're looking for. And of that, 30% say they will make a decision to will or will not, even if it's a referral, use that website they're going to based on the look and feel they get from that website. And that kind of goes along, whether you realize it or not. Google does algorithm changes every year. They usually do 4 to 5. Last year, I think they did 6. And Google drives the market. Whether you like Google or not, they drive the market, as many of you know. Their recent algorithm is EEAT, and it stands for expertise, experience, authoritarianism, or authoritarianness, and trustworthiness. Experience is the last one that they just recently added at the end of last year. And what they really, really want is you need to show with your website or any website you go to that you are the expert. You know, you are the best at that. And do you convey that? And how do you convey that? They're still using words on a page. You still can't fool them and things like that. And you really need to do that with a website. And one of my goals always is to try to figure out, does your website exemplify? Does it have the right words? Who are your competitors? You know, are you showing and ranking where you should be? What can be done to, exemplify that? What can be done to better that? Sometimes it's a change in a branding. Dawn's going to show some websites, or at least one of them, that the wording was okay, but it was very drab, and her audience is a little bit younger. And what she found out was people weren't responding to the website and they were leaving. And just by changing the colors and brightening the photos and making it look like it was created in the last century, it really helped. You need to be proud. Many times I'll, ask somebody for their website link and they're like embarrassed to tell me, like, oh, don't go to it. You're a web designer. Don't go to that link. Whatever you do, don't go to it. And you shouldn't be like that. You should be proud of what's out there, and it should exemplify who you are. Yeah, we may have changed from our bio pictures and they may look 10 years younger and everything else, but we should still look and feel like it's something we can be proud of and it exemplifies the products we want or the services we want to show and showcase. And do you also have CTAs, which are calls to action? Most people, I'm shocked to see pages where there's a website page, but there's no button to tell the person what to do. You can't assume they know what to do. You can't assume that in a page they know to click the contact or to fill out a request or something like that. You sometimes have to slightly guide them, sometimes in an obnoxious way. You have to guide them on a page and sometimes multiple times. So you really have to try to engage them to get them to understand what you're after and how the best way to contact you is. And don't have a chat if you're not going to respond to it. I have a new client, has a wonderful chat feature, but it 24/7, it says no one's available. People start getting the hint. So again, do what you say you're going to do. And keep up with it. Make sure your site's mobily responsive. Google and among others now say the sites have to be mobile first. What that means is what content shows on mobile devices. More people have phones, hold up mine here, than they do desktops across the nation, across the world. So if your site's not mobily responsive or you hide a lot of your content on mobile, Google says then you shouldn't show up and rank for that stuff naturally and organically. So you need to make sure your site's mobily responsive and that it, again, exemplifies and shows the same content that you want to show on desktop. Even though you may look at your analytics and say 90% of my traffic comes from desktop. Yeah, that's for your industry, but Google says, sorry, we want mobile first to be proper. And if it's not mobile first, we're gonna kind of hit you a little bit and downgrade you a little bit on natural, organic searches. Yeah, you could do a paid search and get up there, but once you stop paying for that search, the algorithm goes away.
Rhonda, should we pull up a couple sites to show them? So Courtney, who is our show and tell expert, let's pull up the Kaiser HR site. Rhonda asked me to look at a list of sites. I just picked like 3 just to give you an idea. She's got, I'm sure, hundreds that she could show you.
50 to 75 last year alone. This was just a rebranding. This was the site that she provides executive HR solutions. The site was very dark blue and the pictures were almost all either black or blue with a blue overlay. And it was, she does a lot with a lot of younger people and it just wasn't resonating. And she has this, I call it a pretty lime green that I thought would be a nice accent color. So we just kind of came in, gave it a revamp, changed the wording a little bit on some of the pages to try to engage people, have the button like getting started, contact us, etc. And she's seen a huge increase in the amount of people that are contacting her, staying, and just interacting with the site.
Court, you want to pull up the next one? We'll send these around to you all with contact information and follow up on Ken Monroe's wholesaling team as well.
This is actually a printing and kind of a service organization out there. They do a lot with color, but yet their other site, again, had pictures of business people around a desk. It really wasn't showing color. It wasn't showing how they are creative. So we created a number of photos. I don't know, Courtney, if you want to click on one of the other links as well, that just kind of showcases some color, brings color in to it. Slight movement. Like I said, their other site was very static. It wasn't necessarily mobily responsive.
Yeah.
So it really started showcasing again their products with that just enough color to bring it in to show that's what they deal with on a daily basis.
Excellent. And the third one is got a cool success story to it, which is why I picked that one, Rhonda, because I liked what you shared the results were, and it's all about results, right?
Yes. Blue Mountain Coffee.
And he told you
It's
it was
actually
Karen?
an
Because
e-commerce.
there's
I do a
two
lot with
Karens here.
e-commerce.
Oh.
I do.
Oh,
I
hang on,
work.
hang on one
Yeah,
second.
I work on the
I
retirement.
actually
plan.
apologize, but I don't
On
have
his
access
retirement
to
plan.
mute people. If you're on the, maybe just mute unless you have a question. Thank you so much. Okay, go ahead, Rhonda.
Blue Mountain
Well,
Coffee,
I
and
work on
Courtney, if you
his
want to roll
retirement
down a little bit.
but I don't do
Oh,
like
wait 1 second. Hey,
taxes
Court,
and-
stop
and
share for 1 second. I can't.
accounting type things. I just work on the returns.
Hold on, sorry. I don't think they realize. Okay, go ahead, Court. Back to the screen share. Sorry, folks.
So they sell coffee mostly out of Jamaica, and they were told by their previous developer that was working on their site that they could not convert this to a new platform. The site had been on the platform probably about 5-6 years. So we slowly rebuilt it, gave them their new photos, put it together. Their goal was to try to increase traffic within the first 6 months, about 10%. I received an email from the owner this morning that they're about 40% increase, and we've been launched less than 2 months. So it's and also if you want really good coffee, it's like addictive. I can't go back now after trying it. So again, it wasn't actually a simple process, but we again dissected each piece. How do they process orders? How do they handle this? How do they handle that? And we just kind of put together a big game plan and dissected it piece by piece to find out what's important, what was being, many times some of the things that they were doing on their old website, they were doing because that is the framework they were in. They couldn't not handle and process orders another way because that was what was built into their site. Yes, Jason, I actually built Dawn's website. I saw that the chat come through. So again, it's just another success story. Most of my customers become very good friends of mine because I learn their business, and many times they'll pull me into meetings. Hey, we got these ideas. What do you think is going to work? What don't you think is going to work? What's going to pay off? What's not? So it kind of goes from there.
So let me just run through the pricing. And Rhonda has done more sites than we could show today. She's done a number of financial sites. And Rhonda, Mickey wants to know, are you hosting the website or just doing the design? I know the answer, but I'll let you answer it.
I have hosting providers, partners that I like using, and I can put most people in touch with that. If it is a very secure site or something like that, I can also help with that. If you have to be on a certain web server, I can also try to work with that. I think Dawn, you have your own web hosting, but I kind of help manage it when she has issues with it.
Rhonda's fantastic, and most of the time she troubleshoots. I've been working with Rhonda for I think since I started my practice, and she's done so many different iterations of the sites. She does a complimentary consultation. The deal that she's giving us is remarkable. Like a typical 8 to 10 page website is anywhere from $3,200 to $3,500. Rhonda is going to do it for our group for $1,700 to $1,800. So it's tremendous. She's very client centric. We could send you more sites that she's done. She's done banking. She's done financial podcasts. And she will be very attentive to what you're looking for. Just real briefly, if you've been on the TPAbenchmark.com site, she's done that for us. Courtney, I just want you to show something that she did for us that was very nice. She has done a pro bono project for me. Ken, I told you I was going to mention this today too. Leadership in Action Network. It's a charity organization. For those that came to our 2019 conference, we had 2 missionaries there, Dan and Debbie Manel from Cru. I am personally partnering with the Cru High School Ministry, and we are donating the proceeds of a book that I wrote called God in My Everyday to the Cru High School Ministry. That they are going to be funding career development events all across the United States. They have locations, Mickey, in Indiana. I think they have one in Colorado. Ken, all across the United States. They touch over 50,000 students a year. And we wrote a book specifically for business people, and we are all about encouraging leaders to take their success and pass it on to the next generation. So if you're interested in reading more about that, Rhonda was very kind. Leadership in Action Network.com. It has a new book that I wrote on there. And again, this is a pure charity event. All the proceeds are going to benefit high school students. So
It's
just
an
wanted to
awesome
mention
book.
that.
It's an awesome, awesome book.
Thanks, Rhonda. And Rhonda did that pro bono. So thank you, Rhonda, for doing that for me. So another great discount partner added to the ranks of the TPAbenchmark partnership program. We will be sending out Rhonda's website. You can do a no obligation consultation with her. Again, we've sent her a whole bunch of TPA industry websites. We've talked to her a lot about what you all do, so she's ready to consult on what you need. And by the way, she does SEO, search engine optimization. So if you're looking to drive more traffic to your site, I really encourage you to speak to Rhonda. Thank you, Rhonda.
Any other questions?
Let me just check and see. Okay, we answered that. Terrific. And last but not least, Cindy Horn, are you with us still?
I'm still here, guys. How
All
are you?
right. Doing great, Cindy. What's new
Good.
with you all at FT?
Let's do an FT update. I'm actually going to share my screen here, so give me just a second, and we will jump into a couple things that I want to talk to everybody about today. So we have, let me go back here. Hopefully you can see my screen, and I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. I'll make that a little bit bigger. Here we go. Okay, so a couple things going on. Compliance. So we've got lots of updates that have come out on our compliance module. As everybody who is an FT user knows, we do not do any releases during first quarter because it is testing season, but then we get very, very active for the remaining part of the year, so quarter 2 and quarter 3. So a few things that I want to highlight for folks under both DC compliance, DB compliance, and then I want to talk about something new that we've got going on under health and welfare administration. So under DC compliance, you're going to find really good things like the LTPT employee vesting. We have added some, this is all Secure 2.0 driven, and it will continue throughout 2024. There's information in there now with regard to Roth, and they are building that out currently. We've added some additional reporting around historical hours and exports that you can do for that. We have a brand new 5500 data report that comes out of compliance that has been updated. People are loving that one. And then we have a few new vendor uploads. So you're going to see the nationwide SS&C and the K-Trade, and the covered compensation tables have also been updated for 2024. So I know most people have tried to take DC compliance and shut the door on that for a minute just because we got through testing season. But I want to bring everybody's attention to this because the next time they log in, they're going to see quite a few changes. One thing I will say is go to, if you've missed them and you haven't seen these, but you're curious, go to the update section within the software, and we have several tutorials that explain each and every one of those. Moving on to DB compliance, that one is just off the charts. We have been throwing in enhancements on this faster than I can report them. This is just a partial list. So for those people that have been sitting on the sidelines thinking, okay, what's going on, guys? We are feverishly working over here, and it might now be time to come for a visit. That's all I can say there. So there have been, just this week, we had the addition of earned income calculations. We have the summary evaluation results report out and available. We have a brand new beginning of year valuation grid available within the software, and then the fresh start formula has been updated. So those are a few, like I said, on the DB side of the house, that's just a partial list. And I'm going to open it up and say, if people have been curious, definitely now is the time to start thinking about that for 2024 testing beginning of next year. So reach out to me if you want some more information and a more comprehensive list of what's going on with that section. And then still on compliance, I want to talk a little bit about something relatively new. This doesn't apply to everybody, but I think it's important to talk about. Many folks who use our retirement documents also use us for their welfare plans if they have a business need for that. One of the things that we have recently added is the health and welfare non-discrimination testing. So if you're doing health and welfare plans and you don't have a way to test those plans, you can now do that directly through FT. So there's section 125, your cafeteria plans, your POP plans, FSA, and then dependent care. And then there are also some non-discrimination tests for section 105H. This has been received extremely well. It has been a long time coming. And the one thing that I will say about this offering is that it is so user-friendly and very, very quick to implement. So if anybody has a need in that area, I know this is a brand new kind of adjunct topic area for us, but if anybody has a need there, please reach out and let me know with regard to that. So again, integration across all the modules, one thing talks to another. Lots of things going on here at FT. I am going to actually move on to a couple of updates. For those folks that are doing 403B documents, one thing that we have just released in the software is a Secure 2.0 operation checklist. What the checklist is intended to do is it is intended to have you track the operational provisions, and you can store those right within the software. As soon as the Secure 2.0 amendment is available, you can push those. So it is, if you're doing 403Bs and you need someplace to start to prep for Secure 2.0, please, please, please take a look at that operational checklist because it can be invaluable for you to stay ahead of the curve on that. The next item that I want to talk about, and we're starting to get into the exciting part of this. So everybody who has participated to date, the first thing I want to do is say thank you, thank you, thank you so much. The focus group meeting in June for FTW integration project. So this is the one for folks who may not have heard or might be new and are curious. This is the project that we are storyboarding currently, and I'll talk about that in a second, for integration to various invoicing systems. So what we are looking to do with the help of Benchmark, and it's really kind of spearheaded around your energy and the folks here who might be interested in having this type of custom development done, is to be able to take the data that you are already storing in FT, and for phase one, being able to export or extract that information and import it directly over to common invoicing like QuickBooks. Phase two that we're looking at for this is doing a direct pull or API integration. So you kind of have to walk before you run. So where we are, we've had several meetings, brainstorming ideas, fantastic data exchange with folks and what they're looking for. So the June meeting is actually going to result in some storyboards, and storyboards documents basically are mock-ups of screenshots and other data point information that we can actually bring to life and show. So for the committee that has participated in that, you have, you know, you've been so valuable to us. And the meeting in June, if you can make it to that, it is an open invite to join if anybody's interested. We're at the point now where we're going to see some storyboards and some software mock-ups. So that is what's coming on that project. And then I have actually a special guest here with me today, Brian Long. Are you still here?
I am still here, Cindy.
All
Thank you very
right.
much.
Brian is going to jump in on one other topic, and he's going to talk a little bit about some other things that we've got going on. So Brian, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Cindy.
Cindy, I'm just going to interrupt you guys just
Yeah.
for 1 minute.
You bet.
Cindy, send me the open invite for that, and we'll include that in our follow-up today.
Awesome. Will do.
And Brian, I hate to rush you, but I apologize. We only have 2 minutes left, so I'm hoping you can summarize, and we'll have you next time if you want to recover it.
I'll be very brief. I'll be very brief, Dawn. In a nutshell, guys, what I wanted to just introduce is or reintroduce to some of you guys is our managed services or back office offering, right? So to keep it very brief, we got a lot of feedback from customers that they needed some help with plans, whether it be 5500s, whether it be plan documents, whether it be compliance testing, right? So we've actually got a managed services team that's helping our customers with the with those needs. We can scope out either on a project or on a subscription basis to take some of the heavy lift off of your shoulders. Take on books of plans for you, work through the compliance testing, work through the 5500s, work on document restatements, amendments, things of that nature. You know, I want to be very clear, we're not starting up a TPA or anything of that nature. It is only for F2 William customers utilizing our software in your account. So you maintain that relationship with your clients. We don't communicate with the plan sponsors, anything of that nature. So it's a need that we identified in the marketplace. It's gotten a lot of positive, a lot of positive feedback. I do have a team member on my team, Wendy Huber, who's dedicated to the managed services component. So if you guys are interested in finding out more about this, please reach out to us. We can get you in touch with Wendy, have a conversation about a scope of the project, pricing, scope it out, and ultimately go from there. So that's my best 45 seconds, Doc.
Okay, that's fantastic. I appreciate it. I apologize for shortening you up, but what we'll do is we'll get a list of who might be interested, and maybe you guys could do like an offline session with our group if that would work.
Yeah, we can definitely use something like that. Not a problem.
Great. Well, with that, we're right at the 2 o'clock hour. I want to thank you all for coming. Great session. Thank you, Ken Monroe. Thanks, Rhonda. Thanks, Cindy. Thanks, Brian. We'll be sending out follow-up to everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you 3 weeks from today. Bye, everybody.
Everybody.